time to rise and shine. I'm Shelby Barrett, the STONED for the STONED Roadie Show, and it's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
Drum Roadie Show, podcast 244, Wake and Bake the Morning Buzz, episode 119, action. Alrighty then, fellow Earthlings, and although Trump's won the election, we're still a bunch of slaves to the global elite here. For just a little bit till we get everybody all woke. But yeah, this is Friday. It's November the 8th, and it's another Wake and Bake the Morning Buzz. And my name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stoned Roadie. And with me again, as always, my co-pilot and the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. So what are we going to talk about this fine Friday morning as people return to work on this Friday there, Griff?
Yeah, Friday's always a great day, and unless your boss comes up to you and goes, "Hey man, I need you to work Saturday." And they always wait because, especially if you're like in a union shop, they won't tell you that there's overtime on the weekend. They won't tell you like Wednesday or Thursday, because if they tell you, you won't show up Friday. You'll be sick Friday, so you don't have to work on the weekend. So yeah, I know all those tricks, man, about how you don't come in Friday so you can get off for the weekend, but they're pretty slick how they do that. Yes, today's the second day of not being a communist anymore. So that's a good thing.
Oh, we're not, it's not over yet. That lady ain't saying yet on that one. We're still paying them high gas prices, and we're still eating the damn poison. Matter of fact, I'm pissed. I went to Walmart the other day, and I've been looking at the stuff that's, at the labeling on it, and it's supposed to be a four letter code. If it starts with 4, it's kind of like chemically altered, and if it starts with 9, it's supposed to be real cool. So I bought some bananas the other day at Walmart, and I got them home, and I looked, and the 4-digit code turned into a 5-digit code. and they put a 9 in front of the 4. Them dirty bastards are just trying to kill us all. They're still just trying to kill us all. And hopefully Kennedy's going to get all that straightened out, between Kennedy and Musk getting rid of all these freaking mentally ill people in the damn the damn mentally ill president and all his cabinet put in there. The damn health secretary that's a damn man that dresses up like a woman, and then they got all kind of weirdos up in there. And then once we get them eliminated, and then yeah, we're working on it. But yeah, I hate to jibber jabber here, but yeah, I heard that they stole the 2020 election, and
yeah, alleged.
We won this one, but there's still a lot. A lot of people woke up, but there's still a lot of people that are still asleep.
I know.
And it turned out that women and kids under 30 that are indoctrinated into they didn't get an education, they got an indoctrination, and women, school teachers, all women school teachers are all indoctrinated. And of course, the LGBTQ or whatever all those things
Plus,
are, the mentally ill, those three groups of people, they're still, brainwashed and lost in space, and they're the ones that voted for Sleepy Joe the last time and put us through 4 years of freaking hell. But, at least some people woke up. We needed to wake people up and let them know how bad it was going to be. And I think we kind of finally did that. But there's still some brain dead bastards out there, I swear. I don't get it.
I think it needed to happen the way it happened because you needed to see 4 years of bullshit to prove that that's what that party's all about. And now that you got to see it and you got to live through it, now you can get Mr. T back and put him back in power. And then I think this time he'll get a lot more done. But I've already heard that they have already released the monkeys from the bio lab, and I think it was South Carolina or something. 40 something monkeys released from a bio lab, and they said everybody within that vicinity of 10 miles or whatever, keep your windows and doors closed because they don't know what kind of treatment they were on.
But I just wondered if Trump would have won that last one, if we'd be voting for Pence as president on this one, because he turned out to be a damn communist bastard too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I don't know where he came from. Why did Trump pick that dirty bastard? He turned out to be
well, he's the one who validated the votes, the election. He validated the election.
I guess if you got enough money, they can buy anybody. That's what they do. They just buy them up. All these people, them Rothschilds and all them people, man, they're responsible for killing millions of people. They need to be brought into a world court. All those people that had anything to do with all this treason that went on in this last election. That's why the Democrats don't want Trump in there, because they all committed treason, and it's still on the books to hang for treason. And there's a lot of these dirty bastards that need to hang, man.
And of course
that pencil neck and all them dirty bastards, that Pelosi and all them dirty bastards.
And this is for entertainment purposes only. This is what this conversation.
I mean, I'm happy that we won the election this time, but man, they put us through 4 years of bullshit, man. All that getting jabbed crap and all that. They killed people, man. I mean, that's people why they've got addicted to all these chemicals they put in this food. All these people need to pay, man. All this treasonous shit that's gone on, they all need to pay. They know what they've done.
How come whenever these people sued the tobacco company and they got millions of dollars because they were smoking the tobacco? What's the difference in Big Susie? She's got some kind of now she has like a thyroid problem from the McDonald's. Why can't she sue?
They're addicted. I mean, it's
the same thing. A class action lawsuit.
It can be proven that they have addicted people to food, and that's why America's so obese. They're addicted to the stuff they're eating, and it can be proven. And I hope it is proven. It needs to be proven. All this stuff needs to come out, so all you rest of you brain dead bastards will wake up. God, what the hell's wrong with you stupid idiots? I'm serious. All you damn people think there's more than two genders? You're out of your freaking mind, man. God. Go down to the most primitive people in the world, down in the jungles of Africa, and try to tell them there's more than two genders. They'll get do away with you because you're nuts.
Well, then you see that Little Big Man with Dustin Hoffman, and they had the gay Indian.
Oh, not that shit don't happen, but it's been happening to all them damn Romans and all them Greeks and all them. It's always been going on.
Yeah, but at least they knew. They knew that they were.
Get rid of people that are mentally ill, man. That's.
Yeah, at least they didn't have a pronoun thing going on, right?
Oh, they're all nuts.
I like to mess with them, like whenever I'm out somewhere, like in a restaurant or whatever, and a lady. So, what would you like, sir? And I'd tell them, I say, hey, man, don't be throwing out the pronouns you don't know what they are yet.
And all these women that voted for them stupid idiots, and they're the ones that are promoting that this LBT, making men dress up like women, and they are women, and then they beat you in sports, and then you all can't figure out what happened. You're all screaming for women's rights, and you're making men into women. Y'all are crazy.
And
y'all are nuts.
And then these husbands that actually let their wife be a liberal. I wouldn't be married to a liberal wife. I couldn't do it. That's just not me. I can't have a liberal. Craig, if you were like laying in your easy chair, right? And you were married, and your wife's, and you're both watching TV, and she thinks you fell asleep, right? And she's looking over at you and making sure you're asleep, and then you got kind of like one eye open, and then she's over there picking her nose, and she eats the booger. What would you do, Craig? What would you do? Huh? It's no different.
That's disgusting.
It's no different, man. You have to get rid of her. You couldn't, if you found out your wife came home and said, I'm voting for Kamala, I'd say, well, pack your shit. Or I'd pack mine, but I ain't staying, because I'm not going to be married to a communist. That's just not. It comes a point where you got to pick and choose, man. It's like North and South. I mean,
most of them women, you can't, like I said, most of them women that would vote for her, if you put them in men's clothes and took away all the phony shit that they wear, they'd look like a little fat man. You wouldn't be able to tell them that. Those are the ones that vote for Kamala, the ones that you can't tell the difference what they are.
You mean a pat?
Yeah, whatever.
Because a pat could be a guy or a girl.
It's sickening. That's why they wear all that fake stuff, because underneath all that fake stuff, they look like an ugly man.
Okay. Well, Craig, I don't know, man. We might not get monetized on this one.
I don't give a shit that the truth hurts.
Well, they might make us take it down. I'm kind of curious with the whole, they got to be executed thing. That's we'll see how that flies. But anyway, yeah. So moving right along before we get too wound up, we got a few donations to talk about. Looks like Jeff has been awarded the vest for $150, right, Craig?
Yeah. He said, yeah. He said as the money. Yeah. Let me put up his official notification. Yeah, we got to do that. Put up the official notification to show it's documented on my form. There you go.
For the Billy Powell vest. And he gets this too. This Skynyrd patch, which you give me his address and I'll just mail it to him rather than mail it to you, and then you have to mail it to him and all that. So
yeah, and he wants me
to,
he wants a document of authenticity with it, and then he wants me to sign it on the opposite side of where Billy signed it. I don't know, but he wrote me some instructions, but
cool.
I want to make sure I do it right. So
yeah.
You know.
And then you got Tom Garrett.
I got to go back in my and find that letter that my nephew wrote me and say exactly where Billy was, the facility where Billy was when he signed that. He wants all that on the document.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea to have all that
done. Yeah, oh yeah. So I mean,
how cool is the vest? It came out of
from when Billy Powell went to rehab.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool as shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is the vest from when Billy Powell was in rehab. You know,
and he got it from
the Stone Roadie show when the Stone Roadie had to go to rehab.
But isn't it your nephew?
And Leon Wilkerson had to go to rehab, and he lived with the Stone Roadie.
But isn't it your nephew? Your nephew, the one that's got the
my nephew. Yeah, my nephew worked in those facilities. He's starting his own facility down here in in southern Ohio. He's got a 40-acre farm down there with a big lake and stuff. He's just putting together. He's going to start up.
Maybe by the time when he finishes it, you can go there for fat shaming.
He's got some kind of facility he's putting together.
You think they'll have a fat shaming course come out pretty soon?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people losing weight. I saw Wheelchair Chuck. His wife has lost a lot of weight. Yeah, she's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw where she's on a big diet and has lost a lot of weight. She said, and she said the reason she's doing it is because she doesn't want to die. And that's a pretty good reason, you know. Why am I doing this? Because I don't want to die.
And the way you said it was, hey, yeah, Wheelchair Chuck's wife lost a lot. It's kind of like when Seinfeld was in the elevator and that big-breasted lady came in and he didn't know what to say. And he goes, you know, that Jane Mansfield had some big breasts.
Well, Wheelchair Chuck's lost some weight too, you know.
Yeah. So. That's kind of hard to do when you're in a wheelchair because you can't get, and you just want to eat all the time probably, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in a wheelchair that's slim, you know, you got to have a lot of.
Well, I imagine his wife, and I'm sorry, but I forgot her name. I'm sorry, but I imagine she had to adjust her cooking for him in order for him to lose weight, and then she.
The hell with that! If she's still around, man, that's good enough. You know?
yeah. She had to, in order for him to lose weight, she had to adjust his diet, and I guess she kind of adapted to his diet and lost some weight herself. So good for you.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, all right. Back to the. I was mentioning old Tom Garrett bought the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tom Garrett.
$175.
He said he'd pay up to $200, but then he bid $175, and he said he'd bid up to $200, but nobody outbid the $175, so he got it for $175.
Yeah, that's a good deal, man.
You're gonna pay the shipping too.
That's a good deal.
Oh, that's a great deal. But yeah, well, we want people to get deals on. That's
right.
Robert Wheatley, he wants people to, he gets good deals on them, and he wants people to be able to get a good deal on those cameras. And those DJI cameras, they're the best thing out there. And I hate to say that because they're Chinese, but they got a great customer service, man. I mean, I was on the phone with them doing some registration. Man, they're super. They're fast and polite.
Well, the Chinese do make some
They're here
good
in
stuff.
America too, and I called them. I called them at like 8 o'clock on Saturday, and they were still there, and I still got personal assistance, and that's unbelievable. Yeah,
Was
they're
it a Chinese
company.
person?
Huh?
Was it
No,
a
an
Chi-
American guy.
Oh yeah.
They're cool as shit, man. Yeah, they're a great company, but shit's made in China. But it's a bad, like I said, they're trying to outlaw that DJI stuff out over here from selling it because it's so superior to stuff we make in the United States. But
Yeah.
you know,
Well, maybe we need
it
to.
makes companies here in the U.S. Have to think a little bit and then improve
Trump will
their
throw a
stuff.
tariff on them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to make it so they're outlawed here because they're far superior to anything made. The drones, anyways, the drones are. And I've been using the camera. I like the camera. It's a little different than but it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Probably takes a little getting used to, but yeah, Tom Garrett, $175. That's a great deal. And then Bruce Fancher, $300 for the book. That's I'm gonna send a little something in there with you with that too, maybe a sticker. Or
Oh
something
yeah,
to
and
mail out.
Garrett, Tom, yeah, when I told him to send them where to send the money, I said, and do you want this donated to anybody in particular, or do you want it just to be split 5 ways? And he said he thought about it, and he goes, I think I'd like to have Gene Odom get that money because I heard he's kind of needing it right now. So yeah,
Yeah,
that money's going to
that
go
was
to
nice.
Gene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
and that book's going to go to Gene too. So that's $450 going to Gene. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And
so
Gene
that's
sure could
good.
use it, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that it's damn near up to $1,000 a stitch.
Yeah.
Gene's got a good attitude. So yeah, thanks for all those donations from everybody who gave and bought and bidded and donated and all that stuff. It's adding up, and they sure appreciate it. And we'll have some more stuff um, to like we're going to work on these 38 special passes. Craig says he's going to try to get a hold of Carlisi and see if if we can't get him, and maybe I don't know, somebody knows Donnie or
Don Barnes. Chad knows Jason Barnes. Maybe we can get a hold of Jason.
yeah, well, we can try anything. I can
Yeah.
drive them up there and give them to Chad or something, and when I go see Joe, and then I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, Chad still talks to Jason Barnes, Don Barnes' son. Yeah, we'll try to get some people to sign them.
Yeah, and we got a couple other things too that are kind of cool in here. I got to go through some more stuff and just start digging some things out, but there's all kinds of stuff that we can offer up. Yeah, and we can jump into our comments and questions here, Craig. We got about 20 of them, and we can go over. A lot of people were actually, when I was reading the comments, there were people that were, I guess, while they were watching the podcast, were getting results from the election, and they're like, "Yeah, I just heard Trump won," and it's like a bunch of people on there commenting on there about how Trump just won, and that's pretty cool. So
Yeah, it was 9 o'clock here in Ohio when they gave it to Trump, and when they gave it to Trump at 9 o'clock in Ohio, because when you take Ohio, you're pretty much going to win the election. It always takes Ohio to win the election. And when they gave it to Trump at 9 o'clock, I went, "Whoa!"
yeah, he was,
And he must. I mean, it was just too freaking big to rig.
Yeah.
The turnout, man. I had to wait in line to vote, and I never had to do that. But it was literally, and it was like that everywhere. It was just literally too big to rig. But like I said, the stupid women and the LGBTQ and what's that other? Oh, the under 30, the indoctrinated. Yeah, they're the idiots who are still brainwashed and asleep and still voting for them people that are trying to keep everybody in
Well,
slavery.
yeah,
Too
well,
stupid to know any better.
yeah, and they don't realize that their savior, is the guy that they hate. It's a
That's
shame.
it. That for some reason they just don't like him. For some, I
Well, they've
mean,
been taught not to.
yeah, for some reason they just don't like him, and they're not going to talk him out of not just liking him.
And the
Yeah,
women think that he's a pig. The ones that hate him, they think he's a chauvinistic pig.
because he called women fat, and they are fat.
Yeah, and he,
God.
well, I mean, he also, grabbed a pussy. So.
Well, who hasn't? If you're a male and you haven't, you're damn gay if you haven't. So
Well, I just don't see why they hate it. I think he's hilarious. I think he's the best comedian on TV. He's hilarious, man. And I don't know why people don't like him. I think it's pure entertainment. I could sit there and listen to that guy for hours.
oh yeah. Well, everything says that is funny. They try to them stupid idiots try to make it serious. Like, oh, he really means it. Oh, oh.
Well, when
God,
they try to attack
they're
him, he goes and
insane.
works. Yeah, I mean, he got Kamala. He went and worked at McDonald's, and then he went and got on the garbage truck. I mean, you got to laugh at it. The guy's getting shot at, and he's out there, acting like, so what? He's working his ass off. He could just be sitting on a beach. Doesn't take a salary.
Well, I always said Trump knows he can win, or he wouldn't be in the game.
Yeah, that's the
No,
same way with Elon Musk.
he know all the shit that guy, they threw everything at him, and they threw the kitchen sink at him, they threw the bathroom sink at him, they threw the tub at him, they threw the shower at him, they threw the jacuzzi at him, they threw the steam bath at him, they threw the swimming pool at him.
They ain't done yet.
Oh my God.
All right, let's go ahead and jump in here. David Hester, he says, today felt like a holiday or some joyous occasion. Lots of happy people. I've enjoyed it all day. Yeah, that was the day that we found out that he won, which it was a nice day, man. It was like a weight was lifted. It's like you felt like you were walking on a cloud, and like you got your frickin' life back, man, from these evil bastards. Just like,
Yeah. I said,
yeah,
damn, now I got to do that damn podcast 4 times a week.
Winslow,
Yeah.
Red Cross.
I don't mind doing these things. That's kind of amusing. Keeps me
She
something
says,
to do.
today is a good day. I guess because the election. Richie Blackmore is a great guitarist. I do like the Come Taste the Band album, featuring Tommy Bolin on guitar. Many do not think it should be a Deep Purple album. Yeah, I mean, I've heard him play, and he's a great guitarist, but, I'm just an old school Richie Blackmore guy, but I don't see why they can't call it Deep Purple still. It's not.
Well, who owns the name? That's what it all boils down to. That's why Henry Paul is out as the Outlaws now. Henry Paul can go out either as Blackfoot or not Black Hawk. Wasn't that his name? His name is Black Hawk. He had Henry Paul had Black Hawk. Well, now he's the Outlaws guy.
Yeah, I don't know the legalities of it, but they're still touring as Deep Purple, and they're still.
Well, there's nobody who owns Molly Hatchet. I mean, I there's
I think they got one original left.
Is there one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's one original left in that band.
The guitar player must be.
Yeah, since that Parker kid's been singing, I have never even heard him sing yet. I've never even heard him, so I don't even know if he sounds like Danny Joe Brown or not. You'd think.
Well, they're doing okay, I guess. They're going to Europe.
I
guess they're doing all right.
Like I said, though, I haven't heard him, so I don't know how he sings.
They did put out some couple of good songs,
Yeah. Gene told me a story about when they were on tour. Dave Lubeck. I don't know if Gene want me to tell this or not. Gene's been watching the podcast, but I think he'll be all right with it. Anyway, I think it was Danny Joe Brown told him they'd be out somewhere on the road and they'd be eating in a restaurant. And Danny Joe Brown told Gene, he said, "Hey, Gene, man," he goes, because I think old Lubeck was all coked up, and he goes, "Watch Dave. When we leave from the table and everybody leaves their tip money on the table," he says, and we go out to the tour bus, he said he'll go act like he's got to go to the bathroom, and he'll circle back around and grab all the tip money off the table, put it in his pocket. And Gene goes, "There ain't no way he's doing that." And he goes, "Yeah, he is, man. He does it every time." And so Gene went, and you got to know Gene. Gene watches shit like a hawk, man. I had a whole box of T-shirts one time that at the Polk Theater there, and they went missing. And the girl that was taking care of it for me, she was all nervous about it. I said, "I guarantee you Gene Odom grabbed those shirts because he's afraid somebody'd steal them." And that's sure as shit what he did. But anyway, yeah, so he caught old Lubeck, came back and took that tip money and put it in his pocket, and Gene grabbed his arm and said, "You son of a bitch, you put that money back on that table right now or I'll kick your ass." So, yeah, that's a Gene Odom story. He's told that to me a couple times too. So if he tells me something 2 or 3 times, I figured he's told somebody else that story once. So it's okay for me to go ahead and repeat it. That's my logic with Gene because he'll tell you, he'll say, "Hey Griff, I want to tell you something, man. Don't tell anybody." and I'll say, "Well, have you told anybody else?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, I told some other people." I said, "Well, I can't agree with it." Yeah, so that's a Dave Lubeck story.
If I'd have continued on the path I was at 10 years ago when that picture was taken, I'd probably be dead now too.
Yeah, you probably would, man.
I was double obese there.
I think your head would have exploded.
Look at that fat bastard. Jesus God. What the hell is wrong with that stupid bastard?
See, Craig's just as hard on himself as he is on everybody else.
Oh, man.
But you're fat and happy. Look how happy you are in there. You must be thinking about a milkshake or something.
I was drunk. I was happy when I was drunk.
You look a little bit like Timmy. Remember Timmy? Timmy was about that big.
Oh, God, yeah.
Kimmy, she says, "I'm trying to keep this show alive, and I promise to make donations. I'm going to get Craig something he doesn't have. I'll mail it tomorrow. Keep an eye out for it, Craig." Oh, okay. Kimmy's going to send you something in the mail there, Craig. So, wonder what it is. Maybe it's some kind of worm medicine or something.
Oh, boy.
Steve Jones, Craig, out of those 500 lewds that you had in that bottle, how many you got left?
Yeah, right.
That must have been a big bottle of. How big a bottle?
That bottle was full of silver dollars on the airplane.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottle that the ludes came in is what you had.
Yeah, that's why I had. It was full of silver dollars. Yeah,
That's an iconic
or
bottle.
well,
in
actually, it
itself.
was full of. Actually, it was just full of bicentennial coins. That's what I was throwing all my loose bicentennial coins in that lewd
Quaalude
jar.
bottle.
Yeah, and then when I
What's
went to
it?
Las Vegas, I went down to the casino with Ronnie, and I bought like 6 rolls of silver dollars, and that's what I had to.
Well, how big of a bottle is it comparatively speaking?
It's
Is it
like a pint,
is it
like a
like
pint.
that big or?
Yeah, it's like a pint. But it's in there in my bedroom. I'll bring it out I'll bring it out Monday.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. You
I
could.
know where that's at. It's not like the tackle box. I know where it is.
Well, the Quaaludes are in the tackle box.
Oh, I've kept that bottle is it's been just been amusing to me to be able to hang on to that thing all these years.
Oh,
Yeah, I took the
Ronnie,
coins. I took the coins out of it years ago, but it was full of. That's what I used it for back then. I put all my bicentennial coins in it.
you guys could have like threw Quaaludes in the water instead of fishing, and they just float to the top, and you just dip them. Those Quaaludes they were some bad shit, man.
Oh, and the AS soapers too.
And then the lemons.
The orange. They were orange. They were AS soapers. Yeah.
But they don't make them anymore
No.
because, yeah, I mean, I know people that are in that business and they said, no, they don't make those anymore. Just imagine some old person somewhere has got a medicine cabinet that there's some of those damn things in right now. They don't even know it. You'd have to believe that, you know? Yeah, that's pretty funny there, Steve Jones. And then, QOFQ. That's like a new person I haven't seen before. Welcome to the podcast. If I haven't read any of your comments before, I now feel unburdened by what has been.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, he says, or she or he, I work for a union job and it was high fives and laughter and pure happiness all day. Yeah, you know, I'll tell you a little
Especially
story
now
about
you
that.
can keep your overtime.
Yeah, you can. You can keep your overtime.
Yeah,
No
without
taxes.
being taxed, man. That's gonna be
That's big. That's huge. We used to complain about that all the time, you know.
keep your tax on your. That God, when you worked overtime, it was all tax.
You know, I mean, I imagine like if you go to work, like when you have to go to work the next day after after everybody probably knows that you're a Trump guy, and most likely the majority of the people where you work are probably Trump people. But back when that damn Obama was elected, and I went to work the next day, and I worked with a lot of brothers. I mean, there was, more than half the shop were brothers. And I came in there and they were like, all high fiving. I couldn't help it, man. I told them, I said, that's a rotten son of a bitch. You're going to be sorry you voted for that damn dude, man. I don't know. I don't think they still are, though. I think they still love him. But Joseph Yema, ivermectin will kill fleas and ticks on dogs. Yeah, I think they've been
Giving
using that
giving
stuff.
it to dogs,
Yeah, it's a dewormer. It's a horse wormer, is what it is.
but it kill fleas and ticks. It'll kill the fleas and ticks on a dog.
Yeah, that's what I think so. I think it will. But it's not like that flea medicine.
But you can't give a bunch of it to them. If they have worms, you can't give a bunch of that to them because it'll kill them. It'll clog them up.
Well, you better do what your vet says, I would say.
Yeah, if they already have worms, it somehow clogs their heart up. Yeah, it kills the worms and it clogs their heart up.
Do you have your dog on heartworm medicine?
No.
Your dogs don't ever go outside to get.
All I do is spray. I know I took them off all that flea medicine and all that crap. I just spray them with peppermint oil. I keep them sprayed with peppermint oil. So that's the organic way to
Well, you don't have a lot of mosquitoes where you live, though, do you? Because that's what
those
carries
dogs
the
go out.
heartworms.
They go outside in the morning, and they go outside at night. But I don't. If there's in the morning, there's no mosquitoes, and if there's a lot out at night, I don't let them out.
Yeah, because that's what gets them.
Yeah.
Tina Oresco. I loved Quaaludes back in my day. Everybody, I think's done a Quaalude, man. That's just like, roasting marshmallows, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'd probably take that.
They were very popular, yeah. But they were made for housewives for depression, I believe.
They were hard to get, really. They were kind of hard to get. They weren't like you could just get them anywhere.
I don't know. I didn't have no trouble getting them.
Well, you did because you worked for Lynyrd Skynyrd. People
that was before I got with Lynyrd Skynyrd. That's how I got the job with Lynyrd Skynyrd, because I could get that kind of stuff.
I believe that.
That's when I met him at the hotel. I had a variance of whatever was necessary.
Oh, you didn't just have weed?
No, I got him that stuff to keep him awake for the drive home. And
what was that? Some Black Beauties or some powder?
No, I forget what it was now. I think it might have been crystal meth.
Yeah, so you say here.
But I had Black Beauties. I think it was crystal meth, I think, though. But I had Black Beauties back then because that's what I had with me when I went down there when I went down to Georgia.
Yeah, that's why they were like, "Hey, get that damn Craig on the phone, man," and we need that guy.
Ed knew I knew my way around the. They needed a street person. They needed, because they had Jevin and Kevin and Joe, and they weren't really people that were drug dealers.
They needed a mule.
Yeah, they needed somebody.
They needed a guy that could get it and carry it.
That could go out in the crowd and pick up women and drugs, and that's what I did. I remember that explicitly.
And that's why Ronnie said this guy's going to fit.
That first show I did with him at Dave Mason, I remember that explicitly at the San Diego Sports Arena. They were opening, the first time they'd opened up, in that thing, besides with the Who, and when you're an opening band and you're opening up concerts like that, you hang around, after this you play. You don't leave like you do when you're a superstar. You hang around and do the scene, and so I remember, after we played, I went out in the crowd and picked up women and drugs and brought them backstage. I remember that explicitly.
You got the drugs from people in the crowd?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What were they giving you? What kind of stuff were they giving you?
I don't remember. Probably just weed or, I got cocaine and stuff. When they got popular, I got a lot of coke off of people.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Oh, God, yeah. Trading picks and bottles, slides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sticks and whatever I could trade. I was trading for cocaine.
You're lucky you never got caught.
Usually Usually, yeah, I could get a gram for, or sometimes an 8 ball for a couple of good tickets.
Do you remember that Gene tells me this story about how he was outside and the tour bus was parked and you guys were at a concert and Gene went on the bus to look for something. And he came on the bus and you were in there and you had a whole table full of cocaine. And Gene said you were cutting it all up. And he goes, "Man, what the hell you doing?" And you told him, he goes, "Craig told me," he goes, "I'm doing two things. I'm saving the band's life and I'm keeping your job." And he's like, "How the hell you figure that?" And he said, "Because this is some pure shit, and if they do this, it'll kill them." He said, "Don't tell them I'm doing it because they'll get pissed off, but it's for their own good." And then Gene liked that. Gene liked that. He was like, "Yeah, that Craig, he did a good thing. He was cutting that shit up so they didn't know. They thought they were getting what they weren't even getting." He was all on board with that.
Yeah, you cut it up with
You remember that?
mannitol.
You remember that when he came in?
Yeah,
there?
you cut it up with mannitol,
That baby laxative.
Yeah.
But
they
you
just-
remember Gene
they
catching you?
Yeah, they just did great big lines. They didn't know what it was doing.
Yeah, they didn't know. As long as their tongue was numb, they thought they were getting some. Yeah, Gene, you think he would have been mad, but being how you were thinning it out, he was all right with that.
I was
Because
cutting
he was security. He was supposed to be stopping that, and he. Damn Gene, man. Oh, Kimmy. She says, "No, Griff. My husband's penis is average size." Says, "I wouldn't have it any otherwise." Because she was making fun of something, and I thought that's what it was. She says, "I wouldn't want to." Let me see here. Oh, she says, "Yeah, we just don't get along," is what she says. Her and her husband just don't get along. But the good book says, "To death do you part." Well, that's good, Kimmy. Damn Kimmy. She had a bunch of them on there. With Kimmy, you just got to go in there and pick one or two out and maybe blend them together. She's always... So a lot of that stuff, you don't even know what she's talking about, man. Cheesehead says Richie Blackmore, Eric Clapton, Pete Townsend are all 79 years old. Jimmy Page is 80. David Gilmour is 78. Yeah, because I was trying to figure out how old Richie Blackmore was. And so... Hey, can you imagine? Jimmy Page, 80? Good God.
Yeah, he'd have to be. Yeah, I'll be 74 in February. So, yeah, he's
2 years older than Trump.
Well, yeah, Ronnie was 2 years older than me, so Ronnie would be 76. But he'd probably be 76 about now.
Yeah, that's about right. And he probably would have made it. Weren't for that damn plane. But it was the pilot, not the plane. Tuxedo Manor. Griff, ask Craig about Ronnie's shirt that said, "Who the fuck are the Stones anyway?" I'd love to know where he got it and the story behind it.
I don't, you know what? I don't know specifically where and how he got that shirt, but I don't know.
You don't know the story behind it?
No, I don't know the real story behind
If you
it.
had to guess.
I know the shirt. I'm very familiar with the shirt, but I don't know where he got it. No.
if you had to guess, what would you say where it came from?
I don't know. I don't know.
He just
He might have got
saw
it
him.
from Peter Rudge's office. You know, I don't know. Sounds like something Peter Rudge might do. You know, because Rudge, I think, managed the Stones too, or it was, I think he did manage the Stones at that time. Peter Rudge. And he hadn't so much of a sense of humor after the the Nebworth incident. I imagine that's after where that came from.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It had
Yeah,
something to do with.
he has enough of the sense of humor to say, "Who the fuck are the Stones?"
Yeah, because Leslie
But
said,
I always kind of thought Rudge got it for him, but I'm not going to sit here and say that because that's what I think, but I don't know.
because Leslie said that he was behind the honkettes back. They were telling him, "Go out on the tongue. Go ahead, go out there." And then Ronnie was saying,
Yeah,
"Don't do it. Don't." Yeah, so he's
I
probably
always assumed Peter
cracking on him.
Rudge. It came from Sir Productions. I always assumed that, but I don't know. I just
Yeah, he's probably cracking on him.
yeah. That's what I always figured, but that's just an assumption on my part. I don't know.
And Linda Joe LaCava, love Skynyrd, love you guys, hate politics. Well, I hate a lot of things too, man, but you can't stick your head in the sand.
Yeah, I don't see me talking much about politics after tonight. I think I've already said what
Yeah,
I've
get
got
it
to
out of your
say about
system.
the
Yeah,
idiots.
we'll be
know.
able to. Well, unless something happens, unless they attack, if they attack, but
Well, it's not over. I mean,
no.
the elites have ruled the world for centuries. They're not good. They're not gonna just say, "Okay, you guys win and give it up." Their time is on their side,
Oh
isn't
yeah,
it?
they do.
I mean, they've been doing this shit since Rome. I mean, it's they've manipulated history and everything since the beginning of time. They've got plenty of time. They can wait a decade. They might wait 6 months.
Well,
They might wait 10 years. They
I
got
hope
they
they
got
wait
time. They're not in no
until
hurry.
I want them to wait until I'm gone because
They're
I don't
part of the
want.
reptilian society. They live a long time.
And that's why Biden's eyes are black because they said if you're a reptilian, you got black eyes. About like that color right there, black reptilian eyes. David Hester, y'all were saying Skynyrd was at the right place at the right time. Obviously, Sweet Home Alabama launched them. Everyone in Huntsville, Alabama, where I lived, loved it at the time when Sweet Home Alabama came out, and they bought Helping album with all those good songs. He says it was hard to get the pronounced album. They had to drive all the way down to Birmingham to get the pronounced album. I just remember the only album that I had at the time was the Second Helping album, and I wore it out. I loved that Second Helping album. I mean, I was like, as soon as it came out, I went down and got that one. But I
That
always,
was they had to more or less just go into the studio and just write that. They didn't.
really,
They
yeah,
had some ideas, but they didn't have a lot.
it was damn good, man. That's, like my favorite, that Second Helping. Um, Then David Hester says, these fake long eyelashes make me think of an ostrich. Yeah, I guess they do. Ostriches have those because they're out in the sand and that keeps the sand out of their eyes. But yeah, not a big fan of the like you, Craig. I don't mind a little bit, but those
Yeah.
big giant flaps.
Oh, on them big
Yes,
fat women.
it
That's
is.
what's funny. All them great big fat women got their big old long eyelashes. It's just it's
Oh
hideous.
yeah, they gotta
Man,
distract from the
why?
fat. That's what the whole key
You're
is.
going to try to look better. Let's start with losing some damn weight.
But that don't taste good though, Craig.
God.
Donald Johnson says, I'm going to watch CNN, MSNBC all day and laugh my ass off. Happy days are here again. The Stone Roadie show can continue on. Yeah, because Craig was going to pull him down, man. He wasn't kidding. He was going to pull him down, and I was kind of all for it because I don't want to go to jail.
No, them crazy bastards will put you in jail. They proved that with all that
Yeah.
January 6th bullshit.
Oh yeah,
And they
that's
did. They stole the damn election, and then when people protested it, they threw them in freaking prison. Them people are crazy. And you people that support them are freaking crazy. When you going to wake up? My God.
but Trump's going to pardon them. But somebody got to pardon Trump because they want him to go to jail for all that stuff that he did, uh, that insurrection. Damn. Well, you got them all jammed up in each other's grill, man. It's like, they don't want to be up in each other's grill. How
Oh,
come
they
they're all
love,
right now, though?
they
They're
love each other. They're always together. I mean, they're always together. They love each other. They just
yeah.
they're like Kimmy and her husband. They're just bickering all the time.
Ban
The love
ba-
hate relationship.
Ban Everything says his band used to take Black Beauties, and it caused him to break his drumsticks. Says he had to get a snare drum or something to to keep him from breaking his drumsticks. My friend Bob and I took two Quaaludes 5 miles from my home. When we got there, we fell out of the car. My buddy Bob made it into the house somehow, but I ended up in and woke up in the hedges, in the bushes the next day. Yeah, man, those ludes that do that,
Oh, that scene in
especially if you drink with them.
Wolves of Wall Street. That's the funniest damn Quaalude scene I ever seen.
Yeah. Uh, Tom Garrett says, you guys said Lynyrd Skynyrd memorabilia brings more money than any other band. Well, Jimmy Buffett has them beat. I have to agree with that. Jimmy Buffett does have a frickin' following, man. Those parrot heads. And he was worth $1.2 billion when he died.
No kidding. That
Yeah.
was never really a Buffett support
Oh,
follower.
that guy's got a following like you wouldn't believe,
Oh,
man.
really? Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not aware.
shit. Yeah. And I don't know, but I'm sure if you go on eBay and I've got, I got to meet old Buffett. And when I was out at the Space Center on the last launch, the last space shuttle launch, they invited him out to come out there and he played 4 songs and nobody knew he was coming because it was a surprise. And I believe you can go to Griff Martin files and see where I recorded Jimmy Buffett playing at the Space Center. And I had to show him how to get up on the stage. He pulled up in the limousine, and it was like a little rinky-dink stage there, but you couldn't find the steps were kind of like hidden. And he gets out and he looks at me and he goes, "How the hell do I get up there?" And I was like, "Over there, man," because I'd been up there filming already. And I pointed where the steps were, and they said they weren't quite ready, so I got to talk to him for a couple minutes, but he just jumped right out of the limo with his guitar and then waited a few minutes, and he got up on stage and sang 4 songs and peeled out of there, and he was gone. He didn't hang around for autographs or none of that, but I recorded it, all of it, and I was like 2 feet away from him. I even videotaped his bare feet. Griff, that Skynyrd ticket, this is Cage, he says, Griff, that Skynyrd ticket, which is this one, is a copy. He said
Oh, okay.
he sold the and made some money off the original. Maybe we can give this to Dave the Disciple and he can blow it up and put it on a shirt. What do you think about that, Dave the Disciple? And yeah, so that's the end of the comments and questions there, Craig. It's a happy Friday, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. And you're free, you're free, you're free. You're not a communist anymore. Well, you will be until January. So it's a wrap.
All right. Well, let me put something up back here. Let me see. Oh, where's my like and subscribe or something? Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. Nice
Yes.
closing background there. Let me adjust myself here. There we go. Alrighty then. It's let me adjust my mouse here. Let me find it. Here we go. Oh, there we go. All right, here we go. It's a Stone Roadie show. It's another episode of the Stone Roadie show.
Do you
It's
think
a,
you're do you
it's
think you
a,
were starting again,
it's the
Craig?
end. It's the end of another episode of the Stone Roadie show, and yeah, happy trails to you until we meet again, and see you later, alligator at the wild crocodile, and that's a wrap. Cut.